Laugh out loud, it's the place to be, where geeky minds meet so naturally. From pixel legends to blockbuster heart, dive right in, let's set this vibe apart.
Perfetto, una bicicletta e spero che non saras in me pockets.
Are you a sleeper agent for Iran? Do I have to call the FBI?
That was absolutely Iranian speech.
I have no super saying.
You were on the wrong side of the world. Well, sort of the wrong side of the world. You're mostly on the wrong side of the world.
Maybe I should have said that with a southern accent so I could sound like, are you speaking that language of people we just killed?
Wow.
It's been a crazy week, huh? Nothing like changing the world in a couple of days.
So I think we're doing the BM show at this point.
Yes, we're not talking about politics or the news or anything. We're talking about stuff that happened long, long ago and TV.
In a galaxy far, far away.
I was gonna say a TV set far, far away. Same difference.
So tonight, we don't have much to begin with, so we might actually get into our topic prior to the 30-minute mark in, which is kind of setting a record.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Should actually get us in the Guinness Book of World Records as the quickest time to a topic on any BM show. I don't know if that classifies as a world record, but it kind of would be a world record. But before that, we actually have a couple comments. It's time for You Speak, We Regurgitate. And there's just a couple that I wanted to point out. Ironically, they're both on the Pacific Rim video.
Yeah, people seem to like that movie.
So the first one comes. I'm not even reading the name. I'm gonna read the comment. First comment I want to bring up is it isn't kaiji, it's kaiju. Second comment is Guillermo del Toro. Don't worry, people. We will take Ben outside after this episode and beat him for his mispronunciations. He also said Duke Tango and Magna, but those evidently are okay. It's when you're talking about kaiju and Guillermo del Toro, that's where we draw the line. Ben, we can't do it anymore. Your mispronunciations are ruining our algorithm by making them better.
I know you're helping our algorithm by leaving a message like insulting me and which is like that's about dude that's like past the line. That really is. It's like I set these rules out a while ago. I guess I need to reiterate them. If you want to disagree with us in our review, that's perfectly fine. But just no name calling. You don't know me. I don't know you. You know, I I could be a multimillionaire who's doing this for fun, which I wish was true. Uh, I could be the guy who invented the internet, as far as you know, which I'm not. But they'll call and like, "Oh, you're an idiot because you feel differently about a movie." It's a movie. It's a freaking movie, dude. It's like people who get in arguments and fight over sports. It's like you're arguing over millionaires playing a children's game. Get over it.
So on that note, I do want to bring out one more comment. This one goes on UHF because this one is targeted at me. And it says, the guy that said the humor didn't age well sits down to pee. And I'm going to say this. You're absolutely right, because me being 6'5", when I stand at the toilet bowl, the tip is still below the bowl. So there you go. All right, so that's the You Speak, We Regurgitate. And I believe we have we're gonna do the topic at 4 minutes and 25 seconds in.
Sure, I don't mind doing a short one.
Okay.
We do these hour and a half long episodes. It's like, yeah, it'd be nice to do a shorter one.
Well, you don't know how many villains I have. I might have enough for the whole time.
Yeah, but you're not gonna go for the whole time.
Yeah, I know I'm really hard actually. So, all right. So tonight's topic is a continuation of the first topic we had in February. Last time we were talking about favorite heroes. Now we're going to be talking about favorite villains. And do you mind me starting it out?
Oh, sure. You probably start and finish this. Oh.
Okay. So, I'm going to starting this. I'm actually going to go a little bit controversial on um who I'm mentioning first and who I'm mentioning as a villain. Um, and I'm trying to get a picture of this specific villain, which shouldn't be too hard to do because he's all over. There we go. This one's going to be good if it opens up nicely. Yes, it does. So here is where we're going to be controversial, and we're going to start with this guy right here as the first villain, which is Kane from the Legacy of Kain series. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to argue that you play as Kane as the hero, which is correct. But I'm actually going to include him on the villain list because technically he is a very dark character. And the only Legacy of Kain game that I actually like is the first one. Everything else after that's poo poo. But you have to look at it this way. You're playing as Kane, so it seems like he's a hero. However, he was murdered. He was turned into a vampire. He's now slaughtering all the people. And at the end of the game, you're given the choice whether you want to heal the world by sacrificing yourself or damning the world by ruling over it. In order for the second game of the series and the rest of it to exist, you have to do the damn the world path. Thus, I say that he is technically, you could say he's an anti-hero. I'll put him in the villain category. How do you feel about that, Ben?
Sure. I never played the first one, so I only played the Soul Reavers series. So
Okay, so you know him kind of as the villain then.
yes, he's
Okay.
he's the one who sent oh god, Azrael to live in the afterlife.
But he didn't send Gargamel's cat as Raziel.
Azrael, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're just going to have to
Good
beat
count.
everyone after this episode.
We'll get a comment about it. That's all.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Well, I agree with that comment. You praise him and you kill people that are bad. So, but yeah, so I have to say, Ben, they had this game free on Amazon. They may still have it free on Amazon. I don't know.
I think I might have claimed it.
If you claimed it,
It's been free for a minute, right? Like back when you were still doing the weekly thing. So yeah, I probably got it when you talked about it.
yeah, I would suggest picking it up and playing it because a lot of what makes Kane such a cool character is how well the voice actor does with him. Which you get a sampling of it in Soul Reaver, but you don't get a game devoted to him and his voice actor, except for like the first one, and you can argue Blood Omen 2. You also get basically it's all about him. But also, if you want something that's like a top-down Legend of Zelda style game, then definitely play the first one because it didn't go to 3D until you got to Soul Reaver.
Okay.
So it's definitely Blood Omen Legacy of Kain is on probably in my top 10 games of all time. Everything else after that is in my top 10 disappointments of all time. So, if you get a chance, try it and let me know what you think if you do.
All right.
So,
my first one, I'm probably gonna be taking one of yours.
all right, hold up. I'm stopping my sharing. Are you going to share?
Yeah, I think I could just take it over, can't I?
I don't know. You're not taking on my computer, bro.
Oh no, it's not taking over. I'm going to help you with the virus. You have a virus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you're choosing GLaDOS then. Gotcha.
No, I was going to at some point, but no, this here I am tracked.
Oh my god, you got it with a middle finger.
Yes.
Wow.
He's just a classic villain anyways, because it's Dracula and he's like, there's stories about him, books about him, movies about him. But yeah, so I just kind of figured that's kind of like it gives me even like, yo, it's from Castlevania, but like, yeah, he's also like in a million other things. It's probably in other video games as well, now that I think about it. But yeah, it's just like it's Dracula, dude. And they're
You know,
you off, telling you what he really thinks.
I like Dracula, um, but he's not my favorite villain in the game series. And I actually prefer like fights with Death over Dracula. I think Death is a cooler character. But there's another character that I'm actually going to bring in after this because I did have a Castlevania character, but Dracula's not bad.
Okay.
I think it's a little too standard of a villain for me though.
Well, that was mine, my first one, but I'm glad I got you talking though, because that's like kind of what the idea is. And then don't talk about other people in the game.
Yeah. So then I'll bring out my Castlevania villain of choice, which is you probably don't even know him, which is this guy right here, which is Joaquin, which is ironic because he's in a Castlevania that I don't like, but he's actually a really cool villain because you actually get to play as him, and he has these 5 swords, I believe it is, that follow him, and he uses them as an attack. So he'll just like send out his hand, and one of the swords will just fly out, and you're just using the sword, just boom, 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 like kind of like gunshots going off.
Hmm.
So and that's what makes him really cool because he's so fun to play as. So much more fun than being the Belmont in the game because of the fact that they made it like a 3D Castlevania um, type game that I'm not too fond of when it really goes to the 3D realm
Mhm.
and plays kind of like Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
So and have you played Lament of Innocence?
Lament of Innocence? No, I haven't played any of the ones on the portable systems.
Oh no, that's Lament is on PlayStation 2.
Oh, shoot. I'm bad. I see. Okay, well, leave that in the comments that I screwed that up. Uh,
You know what? Let's do this, people. Let's leave a tally of how many mess ups Ben has on this episode.
oh, Mike too, though, for both of us. So if you hear a mess up, your job is to go in the comment section and leave a comment, preferably nice,
Mhm.
correcting us on what we did wrong, because apparently we screw up a lot.
Oh, how about this? How about this? Let's make it a drinking game. Whenever Ben makes a mess up, you take a drink. Whenever Mike makes a mess up, that you sleep it off. And let's see how drunk you are by the end of the episode.
Well, if you're sleeping it off, they're gonna miss a good chunk of the episode.
There's a pause button. We're in 2026 now. They have a pause button.
That's true. It isn't like you like we're on Thursday nights at 8:30, and if you miss us, that's too bad.
Yeah. All right. So that was my Castlevania entry.
That's great, Mike. That's
Why don't we go to do you have anything from the 2 standard
oh,
puzzles?
I'm gonna let me just do this one real quick, and then we'll talk about Resident
Okay.
Evil. Um, here's the one you thought I was gonna do.
Yep.
It's Gladys. I love Gladys. Gladys is
GLaDOS?
GLaDOS. GLaDOS is the best. It's like it's I don't know, maybe it's my masochistic side or whatever, but it's just like this whole game, all she does is like insult you, call you names, tease you. It's a very he's very abusive throughout the whole game. But then you get the satisfaction of killing her at the end of it. So it's but it's like it's funny. It's like she roasts you and she says funny lines and it's entertaining. Like you're almost wanting her to insult you type of thing. And so yeah, that's my pick there is Gladys. I was gonna use Wheatley and kind of try to throw you off with Wheatley, but I'm like, Wheatley's only his own games, and Wheatley, you either kind of like him, but he just gets a little annoying. Like you're glad Wheatley's gone by the time he's gone. Where with Gladys, you kind of wish that there was more Gladys.
Are we talking about Wheatley? Was that the guy that replaced GLaDOS?
Yes, he was the bad guy in Portal 2.
Ugh, dude, that guy was annoying. That. Okay, so you got GLaDOS being amazing, and he is the complete other side of the spectrum.
Oh yeah. But I was also because I knew how much you hate him, I was gonna open him up circles for you to go. Oh,
I think the good thing about GLaDOS is the closing song, and that's just so like iconic at this point.
Yeah, and that's like one of those things. Like the song, what was it? The song wasn't there, and then you had to update it to the newer version of the game. They released an update, and all of a sudden it had a song that like kind of hinted, or there was something they changed. They did an update, and it changed the game. The hint that Portal 2 was coming.
I don't even know about that.
Oh yeah, when it first came out, there was like a completely different ending to the game. No, I don't wanna say completely different, but it was a different ending to the game. And then they did an update, and the update changed the ending, and I think it added the song and hinted that Portal, like a hint, like it's like hindsight. Now that you look back, you see that it was a hint of Portal 2. You know,
I'll have to watch the ending again because I don't remember any sort of a hint, but I do have the song. So you're saying that the kids
dude, I'm going off of memory here. I haven't beat this game in 10 years, but so
so people so Ben, what you're saying is people might be taking a drink right now.
yeah, they might be taking a drink right now.
Okay, got it. I'm good.
I prefer the podcast where the guys are completely off on all their facts. Dude, if I'm only 10% wrong, I'm better than a lot of these other assholes out there because I see a lot of them and they talk right out of their ass about a ton of stuff. And I'm like yelling at the TV because I know they're wrong on stuff. Because a lot of stuff I grew up on, and they're just these little 20-year-old punks doing a podcast learning about something from Wikipedia. And I'm like, motherfucker, I was living and breathing when that stuff was out.
Well, I think the one thing that I really like about Portal 2 is knowing that it takes place at the same time that Half-Life 2 is taking place.
Oh,
Like
does
it's going on underground while the whole Half-Life thing is going on right above it.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, everybody take a drink, please.
Hey, no, that's not me being wrong. There's nothing wrong.
No, that was that's right. Everybody sleep it off, please. Sorry. Yeah, the Portal 2 is like a long time after Half-Life 2.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, are you researching it right now?
No, but I just know that because I played Portal 2 recently, and yeah, if you think about it, like the whole world's like in Portal 2, when you get out, it's like overgrown and stuff. It's well after Half-Life.
Yeah, no, and also, like, if you ever play any of the, expansion packs that are fan-made expansion packs that came out for Portal, you ever play any of those, like Mel or whatever?
Not into the Portals, I did the Half-Life ones.
Oh, okay. Well, because I never really got into Half-Life because Half-Life to me is just another first-person shooter, and
I agree with you.
like, all first-person shooters are kinda the same. There's good ones and bad ones, but the good ones they all have stuff in common type of thing, so, like, it's so like for me, like, and maybe it's 'cause I grew up when they were, like, going and when they grew up, I mean, when they came up and blew up and everything, but, like, my favorite first-person shooter is still Doom.
Yeah.
So, to go where I go there, but for Portal, like, I absolutely love Portal. Like, Portal 3 came out, I'd probably call out of work for a week. You know? So, it's like, it's, um but I did play a little bit of Portal Mel, and it's just I got stuck in it. And because it's an expansion, there's not like a ton of the strategy guys like there is now for like every other game. But yeah, maybe one day I'll pick it up again and try to beat it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of saying with Half-Life, I agree with you with Half-Life. It's kind of just another first-person shooter. It was one that really made the whole narrative first-person shooter, so I think that's a big deal with it. And then people look to it for that one thing that's a new, fresh, um, implemented game type of event or tweak or whatever. Like the second one was a whole gravity gun.
Yeah.
People look for that. I will say that even though it feels like a standard first person shooter, but I may pick up Half-Life 3 when that comes out, which it's bound to come out. Everybody go sleep it off because you guys, that's not coming.
Half-Life 3 will be out next year.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not coming out.
Half-Life 3, everyone's like, oh, it's proof Half-Life 3 is coming. Dude, the voice actor of G-Man put a voice sound file out there where he was doing the voice, and everyone went crazy, like, oh, looks like Half-Life 3 is coming really soon. That was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna okay, so and there's always the never say never thing because I look at CM Punk. CM Punk, if you don't know who CM Punk is, CM Punk was one of the most popular wrestlers when he was around back in 2010, 2013, around there. And he was huge. He was really big in WWE. He went from like he was one of those guys they didn't really want to push him because they don't really like his because he's not like one of their creations type of thing. So that's how WWE is. Like if they don't create you, they really don't push you too hard. But it was like the fans liked him so much that they pushed this guy to the moon. And he left in a huff because he didn't like the way that the company was treating him, and he kind of swore off wrestling for years. There was a running joke, just like with Half-Life 3 confirmed, that CM Punk's return is confirmed. Usually from Wrestle Talk would be Ali Davis going, and there it is. That's proof. That's proof. CM Punk's return. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. And it was a running joke that he did. And then well, about a couple years ago, I think it was like 2021. I'm not really sure of the year. Take a drink. The he came back for the other company.
Mhm.
And so it happens. So all this stuff about Half-Life 3 confirmed, all this stuff. One day they're gonna go out there, they're gonna go out and say, oh, by the way, coming out in September is Half-Life.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you keep throwing crap at the wall, eventually it's going to stick, and that's what the Half-Life 3 is. So until then, get over it, homeboys. It's not coming yet. I mean, the Half-Life 3, and you might have to sleep it off after this, but Half-Life 3, evidently the problem was they couldn't agree on what direction it was going. So as far as we know, we don't know, and who cares? We don't have it yet. There's no point in getting excited over something that's not even out yet. So it'll come out when it comes out. It'll probably come out eventually. But until then, let's drop the whole it's confirmed because we hacked into the systems and found a file that was named HL3, and it could be anything. It could be Hump Ladies 3. Maybe the company's making a porn game. I don't know. We don't know. And they're like, oh, it's confirmed now. So that's my feeling on it. But whatever. I'm sure that if somebody is very big on Half-Life 3, we're gonna have a beautiful comment that we can read on the air next time.
Mm.
So with that, do you mind? I see you took down your picture. So do you mind me moving to? You know what? I'm just gonna do this. I wasn't gonna do this yet. I might as well just do this now. And I don't really think that this is a villain, per se, but he's close enough to a villain to count for this list because he is dang cool. And since we were on the subject, why don't I just throw G-Man up there? I didn't plan on it, but G-Man is really awesome.
Now he's the villain from Half-Life, right?
He's not really the villain.
But he's from Half-Life.
He's from Half-Life, but I want to throw him in the villain because he's kind of I don't want to say middleman or the instigator, or because he's like, it seems like he plays kind of both sides. He's just kind of a mysterious character. And it makes him a really cool character when he just kind of pops up. And I'm not big on Half-Life 2, but that beginning, the right person at the wrong time makes all the difference. It's just a really cool opening. So I'm gonna throw G-Man out there. He deserves to be on one of these lists, whether he fits on hero or villain or both. Who knows? However you want to classify G-Man, he deserves to be out there.
Mm.
So there we go. So on that note, should we now go to one of our staple topics, our staple games at this point?
I am about to.
Okay, go for it. Take me which direction you want to go.
For some reason, I started thinking that Crisscross song. Take the mic, Chris. I'm about to take the mic, Chris. That's what I was born to do.
Actually, hold on, people. You got to go take a drink because
It's a lyric spot, dude. It's a 30-year-old.
the mic, Chris. It's what is it now?
See, he don't remember either.
Oh
Anyway.
man, it's gonna kill me now. I'm gonna have to remember what that is. So take a drink and then go sleep it off. We both don't remember.
So here is one of our standby.
Oh, wait, got that. Hold on. Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to warm it up, Chris, because that's what I was born to do.
Here we go. Here's Albert Wesker from one of our favorite series of all time, Resident Evil. And yeah, he was like he's one of the guys, like he's on your side in the beginning, but then you kind of like you see in the just like playing Resident Evil 1, you're like, this guy's gonna screw us over. I can just tell this he's gonna screw me over. And sure enough, he screws you over.
Well, he kind of has that Iceman look to him from Top Gun.
He kind of looks like Billy from Power Rangers if he went bad after the Power Rangers.
I mean, I bring up Iceman because Iceman's kind of the nemesis to Maverick in a way.
Oh yeah, from Top Gun. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. I could see the Iceman thing. He does fit that actually. I can see he has the slick back hair and the sunglasses and all that.
Yeah, it just made him a cool character overall.
Yeah, he's like one of the cooler villains in a way. Like you hate him, but you love to hate him. Like when I think like there's a interaction with him in Code Veronica, where like at one part of me is saying, "Oh, cool, it's Wesker," and the other part of me like, "Ah, damn it, it's Wesker." It's like, why does he got to be? Because part of me is like, can't they just have an original character? Why are they gonna bring him back? But then part of me is like, well, it's kind of cool that they brought him back though, because it kind of ties it into the original game. But then again, who are you playing as? She's only the brother of one of the main character from the first game, or only the sister of the main character from the first game. So it's like it's there's enough tie-in. You don't need Albert Wesker in there too, but.
Well, Wesker kind of earns the X-Men Toad classic line of "Don't you ever die," because dude, he died in the first one and then he's back.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with I think doesn't he have like some version of the virus, some special variant of it that doesn't turn him into a zombie. It turns him into like a super villain.
And please check the comments at this moment to see if you need to take a drink or not, because I don't even remember myself.
Okay, I do think so because that's how he was able to not die. Is he has something that like it's because he screwed you over because he's working for Umbrella, right?
Yes.
So what is his reward for screwing over his companions? They got to give him something.
True.
Immortality, maybe.
Exactly.
Take
It's
a
kind of
drink.
it's kind of disappointing though in the movies, because when they introduce Wesker in the movies, they try to make him this kind of cool character that he is in the games, but the actor just feels just what's the word I'm looking for? Just static, just like a brick wall.
And all they had to do is just hire the guy from Power Rangers and say, "Hey, Blue Ranger, we want you to just kind of look the same way you do now, just slick your hair back and just be a total douchebag." Can you do that?
Dude, Zach Morris.
He kind of still looks more like I mean, I guess you can see Zach Morris with that too. Yeah. Like,
Zach Morris would make a perfect. Zach Morris grew into be Albert Wesker afterwards.
so you would hire Mark Paul Gosselaar and have him play Albert Wesker.
Yes, because I'm now convinced that Albert Wesker. I'm convinced Zach Morris changed his name, joined Stars, and became Albert Wesker.
Maybe. Could be.
It makes perfect sense. You know what? Let's start that theory right now and see how it burns through the internet.
So you're saying that Resident Evil and Saved by the Bell happened in the same universe?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, does that mean that one of the people from Resident Evil at one point went to Bayside? Like, did Rebecca Chambers like attend Bayside High School?
You know what? Rebecca Chambers could very well have been Tori because we have no real explanation on.
Actually, the way that when the games came out, they were probably already out of high school at the time. So maybe Rebecca Chambers, maybe she was the nurse. Remember when Zach had a crush on the nurse? Maybe the nurse was so embarrassed that this high schooler had a crush on her, she changed her name and then joined a semi-military group or whatever it is. What's the group that is Resident Evil? Where do you belong? Stars. Stars. Is that military? Is that full military or not?
No, they're special tactics and rescue squad. Think there's some sort of branch of the police, but I don't know exactly. Like their own. They're
Are they, like, are they tied into the government or are they like BlackRock where they're just like mercenaries?
I think they're more just mercenaries. I don't think they're tied to the government, but I don't think they're tied to the police either.
Okay.
I don't know if it's ever really stated what they truly are.
Anybody knows? Put it down in the comments, please.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
I'm
they
actually
do.
kind of curious and I don't feel like using Wikipedia.
But they do. Don't they have? And you may be sleeping off after this. They have a room in the police station in Raccoon City.
Then
They
they
have
are
yeah.
then they are tied in with the government then. But it might be one of those things like the government does stuff with these mercenary groups because you could hire the mercenary group to go do a job and then you don't care how they do it.
Well, yeah, and that's where I'm saying they might be like Section 9 from Ghost in the Shell, where it's this own special hush hush branch that exists but doesn't exist at the same time.
There's some awesome stories that I have, like, from people who there's one guy who worked in a mercenary group. He worked for a mercenary company, and, he's friends with a friend of mine, and he was telling me this story about how they would get, people to talk, and what they would do is they would have you stand in the most uncomfortable position, and then they would build a box around you
Mhm.
so that you can't move
Hmm.
and keep you in that position, and he said that most people will give up their mother after 20 minutes
Hmm.
because it's so uncomfortable, and you have to pee, and you wanna sit down, and you can't because this box is not letting you. He would
Hmm.
put them in that box and then go watch The Simpsons for 8 hours, and he would come back and the room would stink because they peed and they crapped themselves, and they're crying, and they're begging, they'll tell them anything to get out of that box.
Mhm.
And that's how he would interrogate people.
Mhm. Gotcha.
And I'm like, so well, every time I watch The Simpsons, I think of that.
Lovely. Being on yourself. That's wonderful.
Oh, no, not just that, but the whole thing of like, yeah, I could be like torturing somebody right now while I'm watching Homer Simpson.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is Albert Wesker.
Yeah, that man I know is Albert Wesker. Yes, he works for Stars, which I'm surprised. Well, and if you got a comment that Ben didn't remember the name Stars, you can put that in there too. Like, I am not Chat GPT. I don't need to have all this stuff on my fingertips. I played most of the Resident Evil games. I can't say I played all of them. I played what is there, like, how many of them are there? Like 10?
I don't know. Well, the new one just came out.
From the main series, there's like what?
There's
9
there's
of them?
there's there's 8 numbers in the main series.
Okay, out of the 8 in the main series, I've beaten 3 of them and played through the 4th one. Not all the way. I played enough of it though to know I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I
Alright,
would
let's
hate to say that Code Veronica is actually in there too, but it's not. What's that?
can I take it from here?
Yeah, go ahead. Alright, we
Since
go.
we're on this subject and since we mentioned the name, and I actually gave a hint when I talked about Maverick's relation to Iceman. One thing to say, stars. F this guy. This guy is a love-hate relationship with me.
I hated that was one of the things I'm not big on jump scares, and Resident Evil was filled with 2 as well with the lesser version of this guy,
Mm.
where all of a sudden this guy just shows up, yeah, and he's, like, trying to kill you, and it comes out of nowhere, and it's like and your adrenaline's going. It's like
Yes.
it's a very similar effect that you get when you're playing, Metroid Fusion and Dark
Uh-huh.
Samus shows up, and you're, "Yeah, holy shit, I gotta get out of this room. I gotta get out of this room. How do I get out of this room?"
See, that's the thing with Nemesis is that I hate the character. I hate him so much. but I respect what they did with him in that game because that Resident Evil 3 was where I felt that the game series went down. I thought Nemesis kind of ruined it, but I also know that what they did was just super impressive because there was one point I'll never forget. I went into a save room. Nemesis was nowhere in sight. I went into a save room, dropped my stuff off, put my ink ribbon in the typewriter, walked right out the door. He was right there and he grabbed me instantly. There was nothing I could have done. And I looked at him like, this is crap. And then I kind of took a step back and like, dude, that part right there was just so well done to just, you know, freak me out and get my blood pumping. And it did. And that's what I think what makes Nemesis actually cool, even though I can't stand him at the same time. Just because how good they did that game.
Yeah. Yeah, and the story with that, of course, was that Nemesis was supposed to be like a side series, a spin-off series, if you will. It was not supposed to be Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 was supposed to be Code Veronica.
Yes.
But Sony had it in their contract that all mainline numbered Resident Evil games were exclusively on PlayStation. So they had to flip the titles around and make Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and do Code Veronica as the side story.
Yes.
So if you want to play that through them and get the full story, you do need to play Code Veronica. It is officially in the main line.
Well, yes. And good news is you can put your shot glasses down because that's 100% fact.
Yeah. So I do recommend Code Veronica. I have a love-hate relationship with that game because of how insanely hard it gets. But I love it at the same time. Like I beating it, I enjoyed beating it, and I will never try to beat it again because of how hard it was. But yeah, it's oh god, we rag on this game so much. So let's move along.
Okay. All right. So do we cover everything in that standard entry?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the next standard entry yet.
Okay.
I really don't have anything for it. Probably definitely more down your.
I do. I definitely do.
You probably do. This one here is probably one of the first main villains you ever faced.
Oh, Bowser.
Yep, King Bowser of the Koopas. Remember playing it and you get to the first castle and you're like, wow, this game wasn't so long. I'm already at the end guy. Oh, wait, our princess is in a different castle. Through the years, through the years, they've really like done what they could to expand this character. Where it used to just be like he was just like some dragon that you face at the end, and of course you're like, it's Mario saving the princess from the dragon. It's very medieval. To like now he's like he's a whole different species of character, and he's in love with the princess, which is not just from the movie. That it's kind of hinted on like throughout the series that he's in love with the princess. And yeah, it's a great villain. He's one of those villains where him and Mario they hate each other, but they're willing to play sports with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yep.
is weird. It's like
Mario Kart together.
I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna take your family and destroy them. Are you free for Tuesday for golf? After we're done destroying each other out on the links, I want to steal the princess.
No, I will say with Bowser in the first Super Mario, I don't think he's all that great because of the problem that he's reoccurring and there's variations of him in what he, how he attacks, like the
Oh, he matches whatever character is supposed to be like this. Whatever's in disguise, he kind of supposed to match what they
Yeah.
do. Of course, he really doesn't because a Goomba walks back and forth, and in the first one, he's a Goomba, but he's not walking back and forth like a Goomba does.
Yeah. I think that ruins kind of the coolness of him because it's just the same thing for 8 levels. But I think when you get past that and huh?
You get the 3. That's when you really more when you get the Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario Brothers World and all
Yes,
that.
as it was World.
Yeah.
See, I think they gave him a good personality.
Yeah, so all of a sudden in the world, like he goes around flying in that little flying doohickey thing of his. So like all of them now he has a
Well, in 3, they established that he has the airships. And then if you got the cartoon as well, that establishes it a little bit more, even though the cartoon's not exactly canon, there is stuff in there that does flush out the world. And then you get the Super Mario World, which every game flushes him out more and more and more. And then you get to like Mario Galaxy and stuff like that, where you really start to see like Bowser not only just being it's almost he's almost at the point where you almost can feel sympathy for him
Mm-hmm.
in a way, which is a good villain. A good villain isn't all completely utterly evil.
Yeah.
Unless it's comedic, like M. Bison. Uh, they always have. I mean, I might get slack for this, but Hitler was a dog lover. I'm not saying that's a reason to like Hitler, but it just means like, yeah, he wasn't. There were some good parts to the. He's a they're human beings, or in Bowser's case, a full blown like a human being. There's parts of Bowser where if you were hanging out with him, maybe you wouldn't think, okay, he's a bit of an asshole. He's doing a lot of bad stuff, but he's a good he has a good selection of CDs, you know. He has a good music collection. What's that?
He has his flaws for being a villain.
Yeah, yeah. It's and like I said, and also every villain should think that they're the good guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They full-heartedly think that they're the good guy. Like back to Adolf Hitler for a second. Hitler did not think he was a bad guy. He thought he was doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why he's one of the best villains out there, because a villain is not doing this because they want to do bad things. They're doing bad things because they think those bad things are right.
And when you're talking about that, you're referencing Wolfenstein 3D, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to clear that up for everybody out there.
Yeah, not the actual historical figure Adolf Hitler. The same thing, but
Oh, this episode is going to get us underwater. But that's okay, because by this time, we've had so many mess ups. Everyone's probably just completely drunk if they've been taking sips.
I should see how many views we had from last week, because I remember seeing it and saying, if we had this many views by next Sunday, I'm just going to tell everybody who will listen to the show, I'm going to buy you a car, because I'm the only person who listened to it.
We'll find
I
out.
am the only person to listen to it last week. I'm the only person to listen to our show last week.
Wait till you get that comment. I can't believe you're a Nazi, and I want my car.
I want my car. Dude, it's. I'm just making a point on like what I think is a good villain in a book or in a movie. If villain goes in there and it's like, let's just kill everybody, ha ha ha, like Skeletor, But then the Skeletor, it becomes funny because he's a cartoon. It's comedic.
Yeah, true.
The only time, like I said, with Bison in the Street Fighter movie, he's over the top, super evil, but it's funny because they're purposely doing it that way. You'll never meet, if you met some of the worst people in the world, unless there's a psychopath, unless they are honestly like a psychopath, if they are somebody who's evil, but they're not psychotic, you're going to find that they think they're the greatest person ever and doing the right thing.
See, I thought the funniest part of Street Fighter, the movie, was when Blanka came out. And I'm like, that's what we got? Really?
I know. Yeah. He was like this because he was a scientist and a thing went wrong or something.
No, it was Charlie. They took Charlie and just some sort of experiment on him and made him green.
Oh, I'm in the wrong box.
That's okay. That's okay. People are going to need to take a drink now because of you saying he's a scientist. I think Dhalsim was a scientist.
Dhalsim was a scientist. Dude, I haven't seen the movie in forever either. That's gonna be one of those things, but we'll have to do that one day. We'll do that in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna hop on here and say that you have to agree that this is a very cool villain, because I guarantee you, the moment every single time one of us saw this villain, even to this day, actually, when you see this villain, you're pretty much know you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed. And the problem is, you might not just see him once. You might see this villain multiple times, which makes it even worse. And that's going to be the king of making all of us type IDDQD, this guy right here.
Oh.
You know that what your experience is when you see this guy pop up. You won't forget him.
Yeah, no.
Wasn't it like don't you fight like 3 of them at the end of the first episode of Doom?
No, you fight two of the, I think it's the Barons of Hell in the first episode.
Uh,
He shows up in the second one,
oh, that's
and
right. Yeah, now I see it because I remember. Yeah, okay.
but the thing is, you get all these people that are making the laws, and the people are like, well, why don't I just throw 50 of them in there? And it's like, dude, you realize how much damage this guy can do to you so quickly. So whenever you see it, it's like, oh man, this just went from bad or manageable to just worst ever. And that's what kind of makes him really cool, is because when you see him, you're already in dread at this point, and you're like, this is gonna be hopeless unless I'm on my A game.
Hmm.
So, but at least his weakness is that he shoots rockets, which aren't instant hits. So, but the bad news is the explosion will take a significant amount of damage from you. So it still makes him incredibly dangerous. So that's going to be my next entry. All right, Ben.
Okay, we're gonna go to the desert and find a desert. Find the only male member of an all-female clan who becomes their king and ends up becoming the king of Hyrule after invading it. Ganondorf, also known as Ganon from The Legend of Zelda, which I just basically just told you his backstory. Yes, he was the only male member of his tribe, and because of that, he became the king of the tribe, and then he used that army to originally take over, and then he got the Triforce, and the Triforce made him magical, and now he shows up every couple hundred years, and they have to find a new Link to save the world, and he's just like a great villain, I think. He's always the best battle. I mean, it's the final battle in the game. It's always the toughest battle. But I just love that he sets up all this stuff where you can easily defeat him if you go through all these other trials first. Like Tears of the Kingdom and in Breath of the Wild. If you could make it to him, you could fight him in the beginning of the game if you want. If you can make it, that's a big if. Um, but if you go through the whole trouble of actually going through the game, you cut his entire energy level in half.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that's why you want to beat the game is to make the fight with Ganondorf easier. So it's but like through the years, even when you fight him in the first game where he's half pig and half man, and then he becomes fully formed in Zelda 64 Ocarina of Time. They show him that's the first time I saw him as Ganondorf. He was always Ganon to me. And Ganon is what is like his demon form. That's why he's immortal, is because he's part demon because of like having one of the Triforces and magic and all that stuff.
Hold on, Ben. I got to jump in. Everybody take a drink. He
Go
is
ahead.
not mortal because he is weak to the silver arrow.
Yeah. I see. I mean, more like if the silver arrow never hit him, he'd live forever, type of thing. But then he still comes back. How many times has he still been back?
Well, wouldn't it be a different Ganon because it's a different Link in different universe each time?
I think it's the same one, isn't it?
So he just hops around?
I think it's
You-
always the same Ganon, but it's a different princess and it's a different Link.
Wow. So he has like a lot of princesses Zeldas that he gets on.
Well, he's not into the princess. She is completely a hostage to him. He does not care about the princess. He wants the kingdom. He's not like the other guy. He's not like, he's not Bowser. He's not in love with the princess.
I know people can sleep it off. I was just going he had like a Zelda name fetish or something.
I'm actually going to ask ChatGPT, is Ganon the same through all the games or different?
I wrote for different because I mean if that's the case and he has mastered like dimension shifting, which kind of cool, but I think that would make him a little overpowered.
Okay, so according to ChatGPT, so take this with a grain of salt. The image I'm showing is of Ganondorf from The Legend of Zelda. Can you see this?
Did you say Gandalf?
No, Ganondorf.
Okay.
I stopped myself in the middle of talking because I was going to say, can you see this stuff that I have here on the side?
Oh yeah, well, I can see the image of Ganondorf. That's it.
Oh, you don't see the ChatGPT on the side. Okay.
No.
Okay, so the original Ganondorf appears in Ocarina of Time, The Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess, and then the reincarnated Ganondorf shows up in the Four Swords Adventure. The Demon King is from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So folks do take a drink. It is the same, but not.
There you
The
go.
answer is sometimes yes, sometimes no.
There we go.
Okay. So there's a lot Zelda is a game where there's a lot of like questions of whether or not these are the same people or not. There's even a theory that every Legend of Zelda is somebody else telling the same story, but they heard it so differently because of how it was passed down to them.
I actually kind of like that. That's cool. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, because like, and that's probably could you so like it's always the same story, but somebody heard some parts differently, and it's never been written down. That's how stories used to be told.
Yeah.
So have stuff to write on, so you would tell it to your kids, and your kid would tell it to their kid, and people would add stuff, take stuff away, or add stuff to the story, take stuff out of the story, and that is one of the theories that every single Legend of Zelda is just the same story that's been passed down from so many different people that it got changed up.
That's interesting.
Mm. I like that theory because there's no real thing tying all this together.
Exactly. I mean, it's just a phone game, and the phone game was a lot of fun.
I remember this actually happened to me today. I was talking to somebody about a story, and then they started telling me the same story, but at first it sounded like a different story.
Hmm.
Until they got to a certain point, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
And they heard it differently.
Mhm.
And it's the same story, right? It's just, it's like when you go to someone's house and they're like, they play Monopoly and either they're using the free parking rule or they don't use the free parking rule.
Mhm.
Or if you're playing poker, are jokers wild or not? Do we use jokers? It's like that's the type of thing. It's like it's a little different because a lot of the stories are very also with Castlevania. You can use the same argument there because Castlevania is the same. Actually, they admittedly say it is the same game being recreated again.
But it happens every 100 years per se.
Yeah, but like Castlevania one, and then they did. I think another. I forget. I think it might have been Super Castlevania. It might have been where they it actually was just that starting from scratch again, kind of.
Yeah. Super Castlevania 4 was like a recreation of Castlevania 1.
Yes.
And then they want to have Castlevania Chronicles also as well too, which is another recreation.
Yeah, and it's just a reimagining of the same thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not unheard of. It does happen in gaming, and so I like that theory too because that makes it a lot. And then they'll just say like some of these other ones are side stories, like Majora's Mask. That's not the same story. That's another adventure that this Link character of mythology went on.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wouldn't it be great if like 100 years from now, people like they hear all these stories of the Legend of Zelda, and they actually think that these were real stories because these games aren't around anymore.
That could be possible. I mean, we might have people believing Metroid.
It's like, man, I've been studying the mythical stories of the hero known as Link.
Yep.
Me too. Oh, I've been studying the mythical stories of Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, what did he do? It says right here in Detroit, he destroyed a giant that was destroying the city.
Mhm.
A giant named Andre.
Mhm.
It happened in Detroit. That's where he slammed it for WrestleMania 3. Well, actually,
So, okay.
Michigan, if you want to be specific about it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump in now since I just mentioned it.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it. Boom. I know it's a blurry picture. I don't know if you know who that is right off the bat because
Is that what remember when we did that anthology series and they had the one where the guy was in love with the girl and she ended up becoming the monster? Is that the monster from that?
it absolutely is. This is Ridley from the Metroid series.
Yes, Ridley.
Alright, is like I mean, you have Kraid and you have Ridley, and Kraid never really got a spotlight. I think because overall Kraid was just kind of a boring design character, but Ridley, you've got being the anti-bounty hunter. Because because I mean he's the leader of the space pirates, I believe, is what it is in there, and it's just basically bounty hunters enter bounty hunters, you know. So he's basically hunting Samus, and it just makes it really cool each time he pops in. Like especially when you look at the beginning of Super Metroid, where he's holding the little jar with the Metroid in it. I think at one time point he drops it and it bounces and he gets it back up again. I mean, it's a really cool personality that they give this character on what little they do with him. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Boba Fett of the Metroid universe, where like, yeah, he's like there's not a lot there, but people love him.
Yeah. Yeah, because they know when to pop him into the game.
Yeah,
And it makes him effective.
and you know you're gonna face him. He's in every one of the.
Yeah, he's like and I mentioned this character before. He's like Death to Dracula.
You mean, is there a character named Death to Dracula, or you mean like?
No, Death, Death in Castlevania games.
Oh, you mean Death like the Grim Reaper? Gotcha.
Yes, exactly. He's that kind of role to Dracula. Ridley is that character to the villain in Metroid, Mother Brain or, whatever you want to say.
Mm.
So I think that makes him even more effective because he becomes kind of like the face of the bad side.
Yeah,
So,
that's very cool.
yeah. All right, you're up.
I'm just finding a picture right now of who I want to use. But I just thought of it. See, like Mike comes here, he has like all this stuff written out. He knows exactly what he's gonna do, and I just kind of wing it.
Well, actually, yes and no, because I didn't think of Ridley until right when I made that comment about Metroid. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to include him now. So I have a list, but the list gets modified as we go.
Ding ding ding, ding ding ding.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
5 9 was it 5 9 3 6? Oh shoot! If I'm answering
009593. I'm sorry, 009. I'm sorry, 373.
373-590. Right?
Okay, 009-373-5963. Man, I just said that like a week ago to somebody, and you got me all confused.
See, when I'm putting it in, I remember it. I can't, but if you ask me to say it, I don't remember to say it. Like when I'm putting the password in, like I just know in memory how to get to Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that one I'll never forget.
And because like putting wrong so many damn times trying to beat him.
Exactly. There's also 005-737-4365, I think maybe, and that takes you to the last circuit.
No, another world circuit.
Not another world. No, this is the last circuit before you fight Mike Tyson.
Oh,
Something like
the regular world circuit. Yeah. What you should supposed to do in the game, as far as from this isn't like actually what you're supposed to do, but then to me, this is what you should do in the game. If you want to properly beat Mike Tyson's Punch Out, you have to play all the way through the game, including beating Mike Tyson, and then put the password in to go to another world circuit. If you do that, it will keep your win-loss record from when you played through the game.
Mhm.
And then go play through another world circuit and beat Mike Tyson again. And if you do that, then you have completely beat Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Interesting.
And you'll get you could like only if you beat the game and restart and go into another world circuit will it keep your win-loss percentage. It does that. It's crazy. I didn't expect it to, but all of a sudden I went in there, I had 14 wins,
There you go.
and I'm like, oh, cool.
I fought Mike Tyson, I don't know how many times in my life. I only beat him once, and I have never ever beaten Sandman.
You know what? Let me correct that. I've beaten him multiple times. I beat him once as a kid.
Mm.
But yeah, since I grew up, I played him, including doing what I just talked about beating it all the way through and then going into another world circuit and beating it through again. I did that on the virtual console on the Wii.
Mhm.
But yeah, this guy, I mean, if you're fighting him or you're fighting his white counterpart, Mr. Dream, he is an insanely hard fight.
Yes.
If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get your ass handed to you. There's a video that I watched today actually of a guy showing his tips on how to beat him, and he never mentions it. You have to be watching it. He's in round 2, the entire video. He doesn't talk about it, he's in round 2. He makes it look like this is the beginning of the fight. I mean, no, the beginning of the fight, he throws those super punches. What you're doing now, none of this works.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he showed like how he showed the 3 times he knocks the guy down and how he wins the fight. But yeah, I mean, and he's not even really the hardest guy. I mean, he's one of the hardest. Okay, he is the hardest guy in the game, but he's not the guy I get hung up on. I get hung up on Bald Bull all the time. Him and Mr. Sandman, I get hung up on.
Yeah.
Sandman's one of the hardest ones. He was Mr. Sandman was the last was the bad the final boss in the arcade version.
Yes.
And then Super Macho Man, he was the original last guy in the original release of the home version of Punch-Out that was only in Japan. And that was like I don't even think that was a fully released game. I think that was only like for fans of something. And when it came to the US, they needed Mike Tyson had just won the world championship, and they were actually going to use the version with Super Macho Man as the main villain. And then Mike Tyson made the news for winning the world title, and oh no, he didn't even win the world title yet. That's what it was. That's why they got him for cheap. Now I'm remembering this. Okay, so they were looking for something to spice up the game. That's what it was. And one of them was like, "Have you seen this Mike Tyson guy? He's pretty good." And Tyson had, I think, he only had like a few professional fights under his belt, but they were like really good fights. And it was one of those things like you knew this guy was going to be something. That's how good he was. And they contacted him then, and for like 10 grand, he got a 5-year contract to use his name in a game. And or however long it was, might have been less than 5 years. Take a drink. And he, so they made Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and then he won the world title, which he won the world title like right when the game was coming out, which made the game explode in popularity. Here we are 40 years later talking about it still. And he had the whole thing where the legal issues, and they just happened to be at the same time that his contract ran out at Nintendo. Honestly, I don't think Nintendo, it might have added to them that wanting to re-sign with him, but they probably wouldn't have re-signed them anyways, because Nintendo doesn't like to spend money if they don't have to. And at that point, people were gonna buy Punch Out as his name's on it or not, which they proved.
Yeah.
People prefer the Mike Tyson version, but everybody knows it's the same game.
Yeah. Well, I have a question for you, Ben. With that whole explanation you did and all the changes, I lost track. How many drinks do people have to take? I don't think we know at this point. 7,
That
8?
you're not you have to count it on your own.
Take 7 drinks, guys. Take 7 drinks. We'll just call it that.
It's that scene from Superbad when he got the girl, "Take a drink! Take a
Hmm.
drink!" I don't know why nobody has that clip. It's so funny the way she said it.
So what's interesting is we're actually going to go to another guy that's just as freaking awesome as Mike Tyson, but just a little more not real for my villain of choice, which is funny because we mentioned this game already a couple times. And when I say the title of the game, you're going to think of a different villain because that villain has taken over the whole series. But this was the original villain. And this character was still part of the villain and actually became a very extremely dynamic character in the whole series. And as the series went on, evolved to be less of a villain and moved to being kind of more on the hero side. And because of that, he spawned a villain against him that was actually in the first game before you face him, that basically just went after him because of the fact that he changed. So with that whole story, that's this character right here. So I'm sure you know exactly who this is by seeing him, because you probably faced him quite a number of times. If you can't figure it out, look at his belt and read what it says, and that will be a big hint.
Tiger uppercut.
Yes. Sagat is an awesome, awesome villain now to be a hero because of how dynamic they made the character. I mean, I think it was around Street Fighter 4 was when he had this change where he's like, I don't want to do this whole bad stuff anymore. And that triggered his, I don't want to say disciple, but his the character in Street Fighter 1 that you faced before him to actually target him. So there's a pretty big story going on with this character. But other than that, I mean, he was, when you look at when Street Fighter 2 became Championship Edition,
Mm.
for me, he was the only boss that made sense to play. And I stuck with him even through like Alpha and 4 and such. And I just think I'm not big on like Ryu and Ken and those style players, but I think he's a really good version of those style players because he does have differences due to his fighting style.
Mm.
So that's gonna be my next entry.
You might as well take the next one too, because I think I'm kind of done.
Okay, then what I'm gonna do here is I'm
Speed round?
I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna do two more. Since we're on fighting,
You haven't done Final Fantasy yet.
that's what I'm gonna do a fighting game, and then we're gonna get to Final Fantasy. So let me pull up the next one that's from a fighting game. That I don't even know if you'll know this character. You may know him.
Oh, I
Uh,
thought you talked about Sin in Final Fantasy X.
Well, we'll get to Final. Let me do this one, and then we'll jump into Final Fantasy. All right, so that's this character right here. I don't know if you know this character. Amakusa from Samurai Showdown,
Ah,
who's the initial boss in the series, but eventually that changes when he becomes a playable character. He's just this really cool, like brutal. When you fight him, he's just like, I don't know if you want to say magic or what exactly you classify him using, but dude, you just cannot get this guy off you. I think he's even on a level worse than Bison in Street Fighter 2 on difficulty because it's like anything you do, he counters it.
Mm.
Even like you could set the game for like the easiest difficulty level, he's still going to make it miserably hard. And then eventually you get to use him as a character, and for me, he's actually a pretty fun character to use. Just like Sagat. When I got to use Sagat, it was awesome. I loved using that character. He became main character of mine. Amukas, oh, can't say his name. Amakasa is, dude, I said it wrong again. Sleep it off a lot, people, because I can't get his name out right. Amakusa is just a really fun character to play as. So and assume you're probably not familiar with him. So that's all I'm going to say on him. I'm going to hop out so you can take it, and we're going Final Fantasy now.
I don't have anybody for Final Fantasy.
I thought you just mentioned somebody for Final Fantasy.
Well, I never actually got the fights in. I just
Oh, you never finished 10?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh.
The only one I ever finished was 1. I got pretty far in 10.
Do you know who Sin is?
No.
Dude, you seriously got to go back and play Final Fantasy 10.
Well, who's Sin now that you brought it up?
Sin is Jet.
Oh. Okay. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, dude. Oh man.
Well, they said like the guy's father. Wasn't that what it was?
Yes, that was his father.
Okay. Yeah, now I remember. Okay. Yeah. So Chuck was okay. So Sin was his father, and then the whole game, like it's like he doesn't know at first, and then that older guy he does know, and he tells him, and it's a weird story. And there's time travel. Does he ever get back to his own time?
No,
No.
no. He was actually pretty much dead, dude. Yeah. I mean, this is all after Xanarkin. So yeah, he's gone. He's bye-bye. Final Fantasy X-2, though, starts out with them thinking that they found him again.
Oh,
So, yeah. And just to spoil it, you know who else was dead?
who?
Aaron.
Well, I kind of figured.
Yeah, Aaron was dead. He just hadn't been sent. And that's why you see him, like, there's a part where they go into the far plane and he doesn't go in. It's because he kind of can't go in. So,
That makes sense.
yeah. All right, so I'm gonna do one Final Fantasy character now. You're probably expecting Sephiroth, which is not gonna be Sephiroth. Is definitely not gonna be Kefka. I want to make it clear that I actually hate Kefka, and not in a way that I hate Nemesis, where I think that I hate him, but I think he was implemented in a cool way. I literally despise anything that any scene Kefka shows up in, to the point where it actually made me stop playing Final Fantasy VI. Another couple names that are definitely worth mentioning that would come out in this would be possibly Kuja. X-Death is another really good character, and definitely Golbez. Those are some good villains, but if I'm going to pick one, this is going to get interesting. I'm going to pick this guy right here. Garland. Garland from Final Fantasy 1. And I think what's really cool about Garland is a little bit amount of time that he gets, but yet he has left this just a memory for anybody who's played it, mainly because of the translation issue. But I think that just kind of made him such a cool character. After that, he then becomes Chaos, and Chaos isn't a bad character, but who does not know the "I Garland will knock you all down" line at this point? So that's why I kind of give this guy props. I kind of wish that they had him more in the game, but I think the amount of time that he's in the game, just for the beginning, just the fact that he is the villain in that very little part at the beginning, and he, kidnaps a Princess Sarah. It's just he's just a really cool guy that could have, you know, had more of an opportunity to shine. And I think that, when you get to like Strangers in Paradise or something, you'll see more of him. But I didn't like Stranger in Paradise, so I'm not sure how much his character develops in that. But from what we get, I liked it.
Hmm.
So it's one of those memorable things for me. So with that, I think we've covered it all.
I new websites that want to play music for you. Um,
And this show didn't actually would go as short as I thought it was going to go.
yeah. I thought we would have done like an hour and be done, but I guess not.
It was kind of Albert Wesker's fault.
Yeah. So things are changing around here. Like next week, we're going to be changing the clocks, Mike, and that might lead to us doing movie reviews. We might go out of our mind and do some movie reviews.
Daylight extravaganza.
I can't wait till we stop doing that stupid time change crap.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. I agree with you. But until then, we have movies that we're going to watch. We are going to watch Groundhog Day, Back to the Future, Time Cop. I can't remember what the other one. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Butterfly Effect, and help me with the last one here. Come on.
It's with Tom Cruise.
Oh yes, Edge of Tomorrow. Thank you.
Yep.
I don't have the calendar up in front of me, so it wasn't coming to me.
All of those are sure to be classics, some more than others.
We'll find out next week.
Mike, I've come here from next week. I have to talk to you about the future. Your reviews, they do amazing.
Don't tell me no.
Your reviews, they do amazing.
No.
And you're going to be being rich off your podcast, and you become a real asshole. It's like, wait a minute.
I become rich? Yes, but you become an asshole and everybody hates you. Yeah. I get rich though. But you don't understand. Your parents, they disown you, and your friends, they know. Yeah. How much money do I make?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that next week. We'll see how it goes. And I'm looking forward to
That'd be, like such a funny, like a funny skit in a movie though. It's just like, "No, but you don't understand. People will end up really hating you. I don't care how much money am I making in the future.
yeah.
No, they're ready to burn your house down. I don't care. Let them burn the house down. How much money do I pay?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the comments that we're gonna get on the next episode and the next Factor Reviews.
Yeah. And until then, do we have anything else we need to say before we wrap this up?
I think that's it.
Well, from all of us to all of you, goodbye, everybody.